This video includes interviews from Copley High School Band Director Vicki Smith, a Kent State Student Band Director, Coach Brian Fallhammer, and Copley's Athletic Director Jim Borchek.
Been very fortunate at Copley High School that we haven't had to use pay to play at all. In this school, there would definitely be students who would not be able to afford any sort of pay to play, and so then our numbers would go down in band. At our next door district, Highland Local in Medina County, they've had pay to play and have not been so affected, but the students come from more affluent families across the board, and it really is dependent on your school district. I've seen it really decimate programs where kids have more problems with the money. So it's not just about who wants to play in the program, but it really punishes those grades immediately where kids can't afford it.
I'm fortunate that I went to high school at a place where you had to pay to be in marching band, jazz band, pit band, and if you had show choir, anything that wasn't solely a curricular subject in music or in sports, you had to pay. For some sports it was up to $600 for one student, and we had a very successful music program that I was in, but for people like me who have brothers and sisters and kind of bigger families, it definitely affects how many activities you're able to participate.
That's my opinion on pay to play. Is it's unfortunate for the kids who can't afford to pay the money to play in athletics, especially some of the other athletics that cost more money, like football or maybe baseball or whatever it may be, and you have to pay that money and then you can't participate. Or even if you do participate and pay the money, you're not guaranteed a spot to play. So it's kind of unfortunate you have to use that money.
Pay to play is an interesting concept. I think it's more political than it is real. I think what happens is school districts use that pay to play as a leverage to try to get people to pass levies. They say you're going to have to pay for athletics. The reality is athletics is like a little tiny piece of a whole school budget. It really is an insignificant amount when you look at the big picture. I mean, we have our school district, we have like a $50 million budget, and we're, athletically, we're like less than $500,000 is what we have. So I mean, like, put things in perspective. And so, but pay to play is a way that they get leverage on the people to try to make them pass their levies so that their kids won't be denied opportunities to play sports, and that's what
children's participation. So one of the important things that we found was that 61% of the middle and high school kids playing school sports had an athletic participation fee for the school, also called a pay-to-play fee. Participation in school sports differed based on household income. So if we look at our data here, we can see that in households with incomes over $60,000 a year, slightly over half of the students were participating in middle or high school sports. When you compare that to the households with income of less than $60,000, only 34% were currently participating in school sports. And that's a pretty big difference. For the households that are over $60,000 per year in income, 5% reported a decrease in participation in school sports. And for the households with less than $60,000 in income, 19% reported a decrease in school sports. That's a difference of about 4 times as much, and that's really significant.
As you can see, pay to play is a huge issue in schools today. It is completely inappropriate to deny anyone the ability to participate in extracurriculars due to lack of funding.